Welcome to Winning Wall Street's Money. Please take this moment now with helping me. Click here, subscribe. Next, click this bell. Next, ensure to click all. This helps you receive a notification when I posted my next videos. Next, click this thumbs up button after every time you watch my video. This pushes it up in the engagement ratings and means it will be suggested to more people, therefore is likely to get more views to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. I also have a Patreon page. Click show more. Scroll down. This link here, my Patreon, click on it. Select the membership. With this membership, you'll get access to all this information. Very good content. Sunday, June 20th, 3:40 p.m. New York time. First, we'll look at the equity indexes, the cash equity indexes. Cash equity indexes trade from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. New York time. Look first at the S&P 500, stock symbol SPX. Each candle is a week. Last week is a full trading week, Monday through Friday. We closed red. We closed lower than the open of the week. That is bearish. We took out the low of last week. That is bearish. We are trading inside this consolidation again. Even though last week we made an all-time new high, this yellow horizontal line, all-time new high. Yep, we had a big sell-off. Here, these two tills, you could almost call this a tweezer bottom, these two tills. So potential area of a supply zone. We'll see if we continue further down. And what happens, we'll see when we come into this range. Do we have buyers stepping? Because in the past here, there were buyers. Or are we going to go below that and break below that? We will see. Doesn't affect me because I day trade. And at the end of the day, my positions are closed and I'm in cash. And you can still make money trading in the markets either way. So if you'd like to know more about that, join my Patreon page. There's a link in this video. The NASDAQ 100, we hit an all-time new high. Closed green for the week. Higher high, higher low than the prior week. Yep, this is a trend. Momentum to the upside. This candle on a weekly time frame is suspicious. It may be reversing. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, very similar as the S&P 500. Huge red candle, lower than the open, way below the high already. The high was weeks ago, where the NASDAQ just made a new high this past week. The Dow already done it weeks ago. Disconnection, yeah. Look at this, we also broke below this consolidation. So see these consolidations, staircase pattern higher high. Now we broke below it. What's going on is a rotation of institutional money. They're not leaving the stock market, they're switching sectors. The Russell 2000, here was the high weeks ago, huge sell-off. The Dow Transports, yeah, the high was weeks ago. We're trending down, it's bearish. Look, staircase pattern higher high, and already broke below it. And the Dow Utilities, huge trading range, above and below this consolidation, closing below it. A lot of this is because the interest rate policy, interest rates were left unalone, unchanged this past week, but some people are talking that they're going to go up in the future. Of course, they're going to go up in the future. They're almost near record low. They're going to go up in the future. It might be next year, next century. We don't know. But for them saying and putting panic, the talking heads on media outlets saying it's going to go higher. It's at record lows. What do you expect it to do? They trend, they reverse. The probability is, of course, they're going to go higher. Some nonsense, and they're causing panic. It's okay. I make money day trading. At the end of the day, I'm in cash. So let's just hear what's really going on, that the talking heads give misinformation. Watch this. This top left grid, the S&P 500, is a cash index, 500 largest US publicly traded companies. Inside that are multiple indexes. The NASDAQ 100 companies is part of this index. The Dow Jones is part of this index. So insight, the 30 companies in the Dow Jones, some of them are in the NASDAQ 100. The Dow Jones is heavily weighted with banks, but it's not just banks. The Russell 2000, smaller companies, its own index. The Dow Transport is part of the S&P 500, and the Dow Utility is part of the S&P 500. So you see these three indexes, the Dow Industrial, the Dow Transports, the Dow Utility, they're down huge. That has part of a bearing on the S&P 500. Yep, as well as the NASDAQ 100. Let's go into the sectors. In the S&P 500, there are 11 sectors. How many? I'm testing you. Type below if you know what they are. So now we're going to look at the 11 sectors in order of the largest weighted. That means which one's the largest percentage of the S&P 500. First is XLK. Technology makes up about 20+% of the S&P 500. An all-time new high, closed red for the week. Yeah, the momentum's been to the upside. That's bullish. This candle is a dodgy, very suspicious that we might have a reversal come next week. If you're buying up here, and if it goes against you, that's shame on you. Yeah, me, I'm looking for a potential maybe for a trigger to profit on the downside. If I see a trigger on the faster time frame, you can join my Patreon page. I tell you a lot about that. XLV makes up about 15% of the S&P 500. Inside candle, indecision, means a high and low we did not take out prior week, and it's a huge consolidation. That did not sell off like the equity indexes, smaller trading range. So maybe this is building calls, a wedge to maybe go higher. You have to look at those individual stocks inside that. That's called work. XLF financials. I made a video past days ago about the financial sector, and this is a stock ETF of those. Is there any surprise this went down? We already saw past videos I've been showing you on financials. Distribution, smart money selling. This was a clue. See that small green candle up there? Yeah, very small. That was a single. Do you know what that candle was? I spoke about it a lot in my other video. XLY makes up about 10.2%, give or take in the S&P 500. Small trading range, real tight down here. Still bears momentum to the downside. XLC makes up 9.9% of the S&P 500. Look at that. We made an all-time new high and then sold off. Wow. Yep. We'll see if that continues declining. Well, it did break below the low of last week. That's not good. That's bearish. XLI makes up 9.7% of the S&P 500. Yeah, that was a fast sell-off. That's not good. That's bearish. Broke below there. So you see, a lot of things are bearish, trending down. Be cautious if you're buying anything, even if it's all-time high. Be cautious. XLP makes up 6.7%. Huge sell-off. Broke below this consolidation. XLE makes up 6% of the S&P 500. Also a huge sell-off. And this is considered a demand zone where buyers were. So if it comes down there and has a good trigger, it might be the opportunity to reload and buy. If it breaks below that, well, then you're wrong. What do? You get out of the trade. It's called bad money management. You don't stay in a loser. XLU makes up 2.8% of the S&P 500. Huge trading range above and below this consolidation and close below it. That's bearish. XLRE makes up 2.7%. Yep, last 2 weeks ago was the all-time high, and now it closed red, made a lower low, lower high, trend reversed. It's not the opportunity to buy here. The opportunity was on the faster time frame. There were triggers to have gone short, or if you were long, there were triggers to close to take in profits. Yeah. XLB makes up 2.5% of the S&P 500. Saw this tight consolidation the past few weeks. That was that was institutions selling, unloading, closing their positions. And They got caught because there was no one else willing to buy. The market makers sold off fast. So did you buy any of these last week? Did your mutual funds buy any of these last week? Remember, they're not the brightest people. They don't have skin in the game. It's your money, not theirs. If you give them money and if it's a bad investment, they still make money off you by charging you fees. Why would you be using those institutions to manage your money? You could do better on your own, a lot better. Okay, looks at the Faang stocks. Foxtrot, Alpha, November, Golf, Faang Plus. These are the most popular stocks traded. Yep. Apple. Have you heard of them? Do you know what they do? Do you know they're diversified? They don't just make computers. They don't just do phones. They have a lot of investments, wide range. Yep. Consolidation, breakout to the upside. That's bullish. That's good. You already saw most of the, again, each of these candles a week, most of the indexes and sectors I showed you were down for the week, broke below, and this broke up. That is bullish. The momentum's to the upside, bullish. See this purple line? That's a trend line. And on technical analysts, it's nice. It hasn't broken there. It's been showing a key support. These gray areas, boxes, consolidations, yep, and broke up. So we have potential to go higher. Yep, right down here, there's a trade idea down here. Could have been put on last week if you hadn't already. And you can still do it now. You have to use different strikes, but it's called a bull put spread. Certain strikes, certain deltas, certain expiration, and you can earn income. Yep. Join my Patreon if you don't know what that is. Microsoft, also outstanding. It already happened last week. Broke out of this consolidation, momentum to the upside. Strong like bull. I shared you with that information weeks ago. Amazon broke out to the upside, strong like bull. Facebook, oof, almost looks like tweezer tops up here. Bearish. Yeah, we'll not be buying up here. Potential pullback. We'll see what happens come into next week. Yep. Even though it hit an all-time high there, that's suspicious. Topping tills. Google, also all-time new high, dodgy candle on a weekly time frame. Very powerful. Potential reversal. I will not be buying there. Opportunity, if you're bearish, to do a bear call spread up here, earn income on the price staying there or declining. Yeah, you can make money two ways. That's good. Tesla, it's in this consolidation, but again, this consolidation is getting tighter like a wedge. So it looks like we might get a breakout to the upside. Interesting. We'll put spread right down here. November, Victor, Delta, Alpha, all-time new high up here. Netflix, still struggling, bearish down here, way off the highs. And Bravo, Alpha. That's a dodgy candle down here in this wedge, way off the highs. It's struggling. That's not leadership. Thank you, as always, for spending just a little bit of your time with me. Let me know what you thought about this video, and please let me know what you want to see next. If you got value from this video, if this was helpful, then please consider sharing a small monetary donation to my channel. By going below and clicking on my PayPal link, you can leave a small tip. If you don't want to share financial support, no problem. Just click the like and subscribe.